inside election security
Let's go to this one.
with Georgia election official Gabriel Sterling.
These boxes that Rudy Giuliani and the president have described as suitcases are actually purpose-built ballot carriers that are used because they can be sealed.
Yes, Scott. So, and you can see, and they're out in plain sight. So it's not like anything was hidden from anybody. And let's get to 957. And here comes the ballot carriers that we're talking about.
With this man here.
Yes, and they're empty, as you can see.
Right.
So these are the ballots that need to be scanned still, that they're going to start stacking into these carriers.
Now, this is the same room from a different camera angle.
Yes.
What do you see in this picture?
Well, here you have here's some cutters running their work, the flatteners over here getting the ballots prepared, and then up to this corner, this is the press and the observers who are there from the different parties.
The Democratic and Republican observers are right here.
Yes, and doing a great job of looking at their phones.
Now, it is almost 10 p.m. election night. Some of these people have been working 12, 14 hours.
Yes.
And they've just been told that they're going to wrap up for the night. Mm-hmm. So what are they doing here?
This is where they're packing up because they think they're going home. They're packing up to seal them so that nobody can, mess with the ballots when no one's there.
They're securing the ballots.
Correct.
With the idea that they're going to come back tomorrow and count them.
Yes, sir.
But then what happened?
When we found out at our office, approximately 10:30 or so, that they were knocking off for the night, the secretary was upset because we wanted people to work as long as they could so that we could have the results out as fast as we could. So our office called the director of Fulton County, who subsequently calls the manager on site here and says, y'all need to keep on working. So they keep on stacking in here. And again, that's 3 of the boxes that fit perfectly inside that box. She's got the lids in her hands. There, she's finally sliding the lids on.
She's putting the lids on the ballot carriers.
She's doing her best to put the lids on. She's just having a difficult time with this. But again, it's still 10:01. The monitors and press are still in the room. So they're seeing all this occur. She's putting the seal on right now, which is these blue items here.
So she's sealing the ballot carrier box so that no one can tamper with it.
Correct.
Those are ballots that have been opened from their envelopes but have not yet been counted.
Correct.
What she's thinking in this moment is what she's been told by her supervisor is, put those away, we're going to count them tomorrow.
Yes. And it's 10:06. The monitors are still there. So this is where you see him slide this box under the table.
Why under the table?
Get them out of the way. They're still walking around doing stuff. They got cords, they got boxes. There's this stuff out of the way. And then you see here, boxes are the exact same kind of box. They just want to get these out of the way to know that these are the ones we got to scan later that we hadn't scanned yet.
At this point, the Secretary of State's office, your office, has called Fulton County and said, you guys can't go home. You've got to keep counting.
Yes.
And so we're about to see what happens next.
Correct.
Now, this is the aha moment.
Yes.
In Rudy Giuliani's version of
Correct.
the video.
Correct.
They're pulling those ballot carriers out that we just saw them put under there.
Correct. About a little less than an hour earlier, with the press and observers in the room. And then you see,
And
that
here
one
they
wasn't,
come.
yeah, here they come. And that wasn't even hidden. You could see that on the other side of this table.
And they're all marked and sealed just the way they were when we saw them go under the table.
Correct.
So long story short, they put these ballot carriers under the table because they thought they were through for the day. They were going to retrieve them the next day to count them.
Correct.
Let me ask you this, though. When did the monitors leave?
Most of the Fulton County staff started to leave at 10:30. The press and observers began to leave as well, with approximately 4 employees still scanning, and 10:45, all remaining press and observers left the room.
At 10:45?
Yes.
So they're not in here right now?
Correct.
But they were in there to see those boxes go under the table?
Correct. And the other thing we know about this is because we had a state election board monitor in the room who had been there earlier in the day. He noted how many ballots had been scanned on these scanners. And the entire time from 8:30 to 12:45, only 9,800 or so ballots were scanned altogether. This is normal ballot scanning processing. They had this whole video. They know what happened here. They intentionally misleading people, and that's what's so frustrating. It's one thing to think you have suspicions, but to intentionally mislead people using falsified evidence by giving them only part of it, is infuriating.